Now this is how you make independent horror cinema. What's going on, guys, and welcome to another dose of 31 Days of Horror. I am Morgan Film Fan. This is day 8. Let's jump into some scares. We've got The House of the Devil. Now, this is directed by Ty West and released in 2009. Definitely an independent flick, and definitely a film that has been on my radar for a long time again, which I love. I don't know why I miss these so much. Sometimes they're on my list for so long, and for whatever reason I never end up watching them, even though they're by some of my favorite directors and they're horror films, and I love horror films, and they're talked about and praised so much, and for whatever reason I just end up watching them so late. But House of the Devil is definitely one of those films, and it's really well executed for an independent film. Basically what you have is this girl named Samantha, and right at the start of the film is very 70s. Now, I believe this film takes place in the 80s, and it's trying to go for that, like, 80s throwback, but the way the credits roll and the way everything is done at the beginning and the end of the film, I really get more of a 70s vibe, like a Texas Chainsaw, kind of like I Spit on Your Grave kind of vibe. Not as brutal, obviously, because the story has like absolutely nothing to do with any of those films, and the plot has nothing to do with any of those films. It's definitely going for an 80s feel, but it just feels like that grindhousey 70s look and sound, and the way that Ty West, or the editor, made the credits go. That was my immediate vibe, basically, from the beginning of the film. But this young girl, she's renting a room. She's looking for money, basically, anywhere she can. And she comes across, while she's randomly walking down the street, across this, like, poster on the wall that's asking for a babysitting job. And she takes one of the little leaflets so she can call this person looking for this babysitter job, and she does. And then this person kind of seems sketchy, but he asks her to meet her at, like, in front of a building of some kind. And she does. And then this guy never shows up. And she kind of feels like, well, that was a big waste of time. Until she goes home and her roommate, the new girl that she's living with, tells her that she has another message on her phone. And it's the same dude. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry for what happened. We can meet at, this time. So she goes with her best friend, Megan. So Samantha and Megan go to this house, and Megan is kind of like accompanying her. And she meets this older gentleman. I think his name is it Vincent? Yeah, it's Vincent, because the owners of this house that this girl is going to babysit at is Vincent and Vivian. So Samantha ends up meeting this guy, Vincent, and he seems particularly odd. I mean, he's very, like, tall and kind of... Oops, blew out a candle. He's very tall, and he walks with a cane, and he has this, like, kind of evil presence right off the bat. And she starts to talk to him, and then he admits that it's actually not a babysitting job. What it is he wants her to be in the house while his mother, is asleep upstairs, because he has a much older mother, which I really wonder how old this woman would be, because this guy already looks like he's 80, so this woman would be like, what, 102? But anyway, he turns everything around, and he's like, oh well, I usually, every time I say, elderly, babysitting kind of thing, or elderly care, nobody ever responds. So I thought I'd just, say babysitting and then actually reveal the truth once you get here. And this already sets her off on, Sketchville pretty much. But she decides to do it because she needs the money, and she does it. She decides to do it for $400, which $400 in the '80s was quite a lot of money, and especially American dollars. And and yeah, she does this job, and then this whole story after that. There's a lot of reveals, and you start to get like a satanic kind of plot, and the plot eventually goes into like satanic cults and people doing very, very bizarre kind of supernatural shit involving Satan. So that's basically why it's called The House of the Devil. And that's pretty much where the story takes place. I loved the throwbacks that this film gave. Some of the vibes that I got from this film, just the way it's shot, not like the story wise, like I've said in other reviews, like just the way the film is toned, and the way, the camera style and the camera angles and the editing style and stuff like that, the artistic style of it. I got a lot of Exorcist 3, definitely, 100%. Got Texas Chainsaw because of the opening again, and When a Stranger Calls. A lot of Scream vibes. There's that Scream, like Home Alone, like not the movie Home Alone. I mean like a girl being in a big house by herself, like Black Christmas kind of style. And even a lot of like The Strangers, because there's a lot of the second act of the film is very, very tonally slow, and like it builds a lot of tension. It's kind of like Insidious, kind of Conjuring, James Wan kind of thing. I don't like comparing directors, but these are just like some of the vibes that you should expect to see. Like if you're interested in any of those films, then you're definitely gonna get a good experience watching The House of the Devil. But if you hate those films, then you might as well not watch it, right? That's why I'm comparing other films to this film. I got a lot of Your Next vibes. I forget who directed Your Next, but Ty West was also involved with Your Next, so that does make a lot of sense, because I'm pretty sure he was one of the producers on it. And a lot of the shots, again, are very kind of Your Next style. The characters, they're good. They're good. There's a lot of stuff that happens with the characters that I don't really want to get into because of spoilers, but they're very well. They're very well acted, and they're very well directed in the style that Ty West wanted to go with this film, because you really could tell that it's trying to throw back to like an '80s feel kind of thing. So that was definitely nailed. There's a graveyard scene, and I've already said I love graveyard scenes. So anything that takes place in a graveyard is always creepy to me. It gives me that creep factor. Like, I loved when they did it like in the '40s, like in the black and white movies and stuff like that. Graveyard scenes with epitaphs and all that stuff. That stuff is just completely up my alley. What else can I say? There's a random. I mean, Samantha's cute as hell. So there's a scene where it involves her dancing around the house, like just with her earphones on, and just not giving a shit, just letting loose kind of thing, and I found that really cool. I think the only thing that I would say that's like I didn't love about the film is that a lot of things are very far-fetched. first of all, and second of all, a lot of like this is not an unpredictable film. You pretty much know what's gonna go down pretty quick. Like there's no surprises, really. Everything is completely perfectly executed. Like it's a perfectly executed indie film. But it doesn't give you a lot of surprises or cliffhangers or twists or anything like that. The film pretty much progresses, and you're like, oh, this is coming, and then it comes and it comes, and it's pretty much it. That's pretty like that's how it plays out pretty much, which is not a bad thing. But it's not like that film that you're gonna have like a huge twist ending or anything like that. It's just a really well structured, independent piece of cinema, basically. And as for like the far-fetched elements, I think again this was on purpose. But like, for example, I'll just say one quick thing. Like you get a battle between two people, a man and a woman, and the woman has a knife and the man has a gun, and they're like literally in front of each other, and the woman with the knife wins. I'm like, give me a break. And he shoots her, and then she still like beats his ass with the knife. Like, it's stuff like that. I think but he's going for cheese, and so I can appreciate that. But like when I watch that scene, it's like she gets shot, and then she still kicks his ass with a knife, and he has a gun, like at her head, and somehow she manages to cut his ass up. It's like, okay, all right, we're going for 80s cheese, like immediately. But I was really happy with The House of the Devil because I wanted to watch it for a long time, and I'm really happy to own it now. I love Ty West's work, and I really enjoyed myself. The cast, like I said, is really good. You even get Greta Gerwig in here, who's really made it pretty big in like directing her own pieces of cinema. I don't think she touches horror too much, but she definitely did Lady Bird, and is very well respected in the industry. So I like that. But that's House of the Devil. So that's day 8. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like listening to my voice. If you like my film reviews. And there will be more to come. So until next time, take care and cheers.